Hi everyone, my name is Promise Odera Onu. So today I'm using two phones. So I am live on Facebook, and it seems like people can buy me stars on Facebook, which is good. So yesterday when I was doing live, somebody told me I should go live on Facebook. So I'm trying it out today. Thanks to the missus for letting me use her new phone. All right, cool. So today I want to talk about the Nigerian government should support home businesses. And what do I mean by that? I just finished listening to Channel's Politics Today, where Sheung was interviewing the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti. And then, slow connection. Wow. Yeah, so in that interview, Alex Oti described the whole issue that Geometric had. Geometric is the company that is that has built the power plant that is going to be sustaining about 9 local governments in Abia State with uninterrupted power supply. And the actual plant was ready for the past 10 years, 2014, but because of issues surrounding land ownership and other agreements with EEDC, which is Enugu Electrical Distribution Company, that affected that business or that investment to kickstart their production or their services to the people of Abia State. And that goes a long way to tell you how businesses can be hampered by if they are not supported, how things can actually be delayed. So for good 10 years that investment have been lying there. Shell pulled out when they're supposed to start supplying gas to the turbines to start production of power and all of that. And then when that issue finished as well, they had other issues, but thankfully, the new government has helped Geometric to be running now, to be up and running. So Geometric is now, about people have now experienced 48 hour supply already. So why is it important for businesses to be supported by government of Nigeria? We have an economic problem in Nigeria, and for us to solve that economic problem, we need a lot of small, medium, and large-scale businesses to be up and running, to be in full scale, right? So what's happening is that a lot of big, large enterprises are leaving the country. A lot of big companies are leaving, multinationals are leaving the country, pulling out. At the same time, medium-scale business are leaving. Petty traders are being taxed to the teeth. So at the end of the day, they are not actually being sustained. And you have whole issue with expensive fuel, high cost of living, inflation. All these things are just hampering the survival of these businesses. And listening to somebody like Allen Onyema, who I've discussed in my life before, talk about the issues they are having with, the enormous tax they have to pay, even the loans they have to collect on 30 to 36% interest rates. That goes a long way to show you that businesses are not supported. So it's as if governments are running down businesses, which, at the same time is also affecting the economy. Now, without this industrialization, without these manufacturing companies and businesses thriving, there is no way you're going to have production. And without production, the country will suffer. So it looks like the government, I don't know whether to say they are not aware of what they are doing, or because the caretakers of this the caretakers in government just want to keep enriching themselves to the detriment of the whole country and nation at large. So it's like Peter Obi speaking on the customs almost, increasing the tariff or what you have to pay when your goods arrive the country for clearing. They're increasing the tariff almost on a daily basis. And it's jumped to something ridiculous, about 22.7% from what it used to be. Now, when you keep increasing how much people have to pay to clear their containers, you're just simply making it impossible for businesses to be able to keep importing. And at the same time, when there is high demand and there is small supply, it sort of hampers, increases the prices and then hampers the economy. So at the end of the day, I don't know what is the drive behind most of this. I saw a news before coming on live that the federal government or Tinubu is trying to force the cement sellers to go back or revert back to what the prices were. It's crazy because cement now sells in some places from 10,000 naira a bag to about 15,000 naira a bag. In fact, some government agencies are now, because I saw Dave Umahi, who is the Minister of Works, complaining that even the 127-kilometer road they want to build to Zaria from Kaduna or somewhere like that, that they don't have money to be able to build concrete roads, because that's what Dave Umahi advocates for. He doesn't like the whole quota roads. He prefers use of concrete. So concrete, of course, will be cement. So if cement is ridiculously that expensive, then it's going to hamper the contractors to be able to deliver that quality. So at the end of the day, we're in a situation whereby if businesses are not being supported by the government, they are going to have to keep asking more from the people or go out of business entirely. Now, the purpose of this live is, I'm going to make it as short as possible, is that if really and truly, I saw the channel showed the clip where Tinubu was saying or giving a speech at the Red Line Commissioning in Lagos, which also is a commendable feat. It's a commendable project that at least Lagos have 2 railway lines. Lagos is one state that have a lot of population. It's the commercial hub of Nigeria, if not Africa, or one of the commercial hubs in Africa. So having a rail line is going to be extremely beneficial with the excruciating pain of traffic in Nigeria or in Lagos. The rail lines will ease that painful realities of Lagosians. So at the end of the day, it's a good one. That I think Tinubu was one of the people that started it. I don't know. Maybe not him, maybe other people like Ambode Fashola, but at the same time, yeah, good evening, Princess, because he went to commission it, is also good. What I am seeing, if I should make any projection, is that from the way things are looking, the Naira has been appreciating since the whole Binance as a company have been closed. Naira has been appreciating because Nigeria don't have the technology to regulate cryptocurrency. In fact, even here in the UK, cryptocurrency is not really well regulated, although they're regulating it small, but it's not really well regulated. So I know that Nigeria cannot, even when they floated the e-Naira and whatever, the wallet, and they've not even regulated the fiscal cash. They don't even know what they are doing with their currency policies and or the currency economy. Talk more of regulating cryptocurrency. So by them, I heard they held back the Binance executive, and I'm sure they want to compel them to make sure they stop all these other ways that people could sort of source dollar and put a little bit of control on that. Now, that's why the Naira have been appreciating a little bit. Now, from what I'm seeing, and this is not to be attributed to APC alone, and not to also take anything away from him or from them. But there are things that I'm seeing that I think Nigerians will start benefiting from in March. And when I say March is tomorrow. But if, from the look of things, Aba is often regarded as the Japan of Nigeria, if not the Japan of Africa. And they are heavily into business. So Aba is like a business, a commercial city. Now, with them having 48 power supply, there is going to be a big boom, a big boost, you know, in terms of businesses. There's going to be a big boom, and whether we like it or not, there's going to be influx of investors. I hear there's a company called Maxi Tires who are already visiting a local community and speaking to their traditional ruler to get approval of locations and stuff like that. That's what you will start seeing in Aba very soon. Now, and also in this same March, Air Peace have now started selling tickets directly to London Gatwick. And when I was listening to Alan Onyema, he said it's even better than Heathrow. Now, I've done Uber in the UK, and I know that going to Heathrow is too busy. One of the problems you have with Heathrow is that parking is a problem. Sometimes you can't even remember where you park your car. Number two is there is always traffic in central London. Although that's not anything to do particularly with the airport. The airport is actually in Askesh, but the problem is there is only one way into London, which is the M4. If you go the M25, then you are better off. But if the person is going to central London, you just have that one. And then when you come into London, you are always stuck in traffic. But then Gatwick is a little bit free, so you are coming from the south, which is Croydon area, and you know you can easily get into other places and get into London through the other side, which is a bit more free. So in that aspect, they are actually correct. Alan Onyema is correct that if it will favor Nigerians to sort of travel from Gatwick rather than Heathrow. That said, these two things are happening in March, so I feel like the burdens are going to start getting lighter. Now, what the federal government needs to do to also help this boost, because what's happening is that when Tinubu came in, already Nigerians are suffering, right? The naira against the dollar and the pounds was already depreciating, right? Now, what Tinubu did by floating the naira and removing subsidy sort of shot it even higher up. So it's now beginning to come down. So first thing they need to do is to bring the price down, right? But when they are bringing the price back down, they have to first of all bring it back down to how they met it when Buhari was there. And then to further even bring it down, then we'll start counting it as progress. So right now, whatever Tinubu is doing to reduce the price of naira against the dollar is not progress. We can't count it as progress yet until they bring it down below what they met it when Buhari was in power. Then we'll start counting it as progress. But anyway, even if they bring it down below Buhari, we'll still count as the same APC. It's the destruction of what Buhari did, you know, when they took over from Goodluck. So essentially, if we should count any progress, is if the naira starts, if the naira drops below what the APC met it when Goodluck was in power, then we'll actually start counting it for progress for APC. Although they try to make a distinction between APC under Buhari and APC under Tinubu. So let Tinubu bring it to the place he met it first, and then we can start counting it for him as his own progress. But as a party, they have to bring it down below what Goodluck left it. But this is why I think that will happen. If Tinubu can find a way to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Igbo stop the sit at home with the in this match, if he releases Nnamdi Kanu out of prison in this match and Igbo start doing business every Monday in this match, then in this same match already Aba has uninterrupted power, which will mean a lot of industries will push towards Aba, and then there will be a lot of business around Aba and Umuahia, then and Port Harcourt as well. There will be a lot of flights to Port Harcourt That will boost the economy. And at the same time, Air Peace will start flying. That means there will be a lot of dollar coming into Nigeria. Because once Air Peace starts flying, what Air Peace needs to do is to work with Nigerian government and find a way of, once people are flying in, and London is a hub, whether it's Gatwick, whether it's Stansted, London is a hub to the whole world. Just 6 hours, you're in Nigeria. I'm from London, you can fly to Australia, China, you can fly to America. So you can fly to America, you can fly to Asia, you can fly to Africa, you can fly to Canada, you can fly anywhere from London. So that's a big feat. So these are two things that can play in the advantage of Tinubu if he's smart enough. If he really wants to be smart, then what he needs to do is, in that economic forum where he's inviting the likes of Otadola and the rest, he needs to invite somebody like Allen Onyema. He needs to invite somebody like Professor Pat Naji, because this is already established. See, that power plant in Aba has already been ready for the past 10 years, 2014, according to what Alex Oti said on TV, right? They only came into service now. Do you understand? Because NNPC now started supplying them gas when Shell pull out, right? So now that they are in service, somebody like Professor Paul Atinoji, who was also the former Minister for Power, engage him. He's from Enugu State. Enugu already are saying that they want something similar. Let him start building these things. Back in the day, in Anambra State, I remember one of my the dad was an engineer, and what he used to build is dams. Yes, Anambra used to have people, private people used to go and build dams. Wherever there is water, wherever there is flow of like current, what do you call it? Water current. When there is water flowing, you can build a dam to support a village or a small local government or a small locality. Do you understand? So what Nigeria needs to do is to, now that they've actually said that, because this plant in Abia State is powered by gas, but there is also hydroelectricity. Now, this hydroelectricity, we can also give licenses to private businesses, private individuals to build all these dams. And even if you don't give it to the national grid, help to power places, because people are building houses day by day, especially in the south. They are building houses like crazy. Every time Igbos are building house, Yorubas are building house, Southerners are building house, and there's houses coming up. Now, the more houses you build, the more load you will have. Now, another thing that Alex Oti said is that it's not that we're not producing, because we've increased the capacity of generation of power, right? Now, the advantage that Abia State power generation has is that they are also transmitting and also distributing. So they are producing, they are generating, they are transmitting it, and they are taking it straight to your homes. So they are almost in control of everything. Now, those main ones that we have in Nigeria, our national grid, there's a different company in charge of generating. There's a different company in charge of transmitting. And also you have the ones that now sell to your door, or sell to that are retailing those transmitted power, which is the EEDC or what we want to call NEPA, or whichever authorities that have the contract to supply those electricity directly to you in your local area, right? Now, what Tinubu needs to do is to take advantage of these two things. And from this March, Nigerians can start seeing a very fast, rapid turnaround in the economy. From what I'm calculating, if the flights start coming into Nigeria, all you need to do is work with Allen Onyema. You don't even need to announce that he's the official whatever carrier of Nigeria. No. Nigerians that are smart, everybody will. In fact, his flights are cheaper. I heard it's 1.2 million. If you compare that to BA, there's no way you can match that. There's no way BA can match that of Virgin. So if Allen Onyema is flying to London, a lot of money as foreigners are going to come into the country. Work with him. Let's start paying up our debts and all these things, especially the access to forex, to be able to pay people like UAE that we are owing and all of that. Once we start paying all these debts, before you know it, we'll have a balance. The economy will drop, our finance will start appreciating, our naira, our currency will start appreciating. Then the second thing is, we take advantage of what is happening in Aba. There is going to be huge investors coming in, because once you have uninterrupted power, my brother, the sky is your limit. And we're best to position that plant apart from Aba. Aba is the best place to have uninterrupted power. So give it few months, you will see the ingenuity of Igbos. I've personally been to Aba. If you see shoes made in Aba, they are sold in some places in the Western world, in Italy, in other places. Shoes, footwears made, clothes made in Aba are being exported. So the government need to key in so that all these ships that come into Nigeria and go empty can start being filled up with commodities and then sold back to Europeans or whoever that we are buying any items from, right? Now, what can we sell to China? One thing we can sell to China is coal. Yes, COAL. Coal is still in business. Now, Enugu State have one big problem. That big problem is that they don't see water. To get water, borehole in Enugu State is difficult, right? They have to rely on tankers to bring from bigger boreholes that are commercial places to bring it to homes. And these things are very expensive. One woman was lamenting that to get a tanker, and they get tanker every 2 weeks, to get a tanker is like 35K. So if you have a big commercial borehole in Enugu, you are making money, right? Now, what we need to do in Enugu is, the reason why they don't get water, whenever you struggle to get water, there is because there are other minerals in that place. Do you understand? We have a lot of coal in Enugu State. Enugu government need to be engaged, right? I've met a woman when I was driving Uber, and she works with a firm that supplies coal to I think it's China. I think it's China, or it's a Chinese firm that owns the ship. So when you go to exportation, there are people who are just into the logistics of just moving commodities, right? And there are people who are into the sourcing of those minerals or resources. So all they do in their business is probably the shipping company. Now to put a ship on the sea with the whole what do you call them again, captain and crew, for months. It's like, I think she said something about £8,000 or whatever a week, or some ridiculous amount like that a day. Now, what you need to understand is that we have abundance of mineral resources, and I think Tinubu have created a ministry for mineral resources or something like that. Now we need to have robust laws, yeah. Something like coal, we don't necessarily need coal so much in Nigeria. So I don't think we should say, oh, let's use it to manufacture something in Nigeria. No, most times industries use these. Actually, you can use coal for things like toothpaste. They use it for toothpaste. So what we can do is, for our containers that come into Nigeria not to leave empty, what we need to do is to engage governments of Enugu State. Guys, give me 1 second. Sorry, so yeah, my baby came down to distract me. So yeah, so what we need to do is to have a robust framework that our mineral resources, we can make the most out of them. So get Enugu State government to go into what do you call, exportation of coal, put it on these containers and then ship it out, right, and sell it to countries. There are countries that are making a lot of money from coal. I can't remember the countries that the woman told me where they source this coal. I think India is part of it as well. So a lot of coal comes from India and other places. So since we have all these mineral resources lying in Nigeria, we can make use of it. And we can also work with Aba. We can work with Abia State government to say, a lot of all these things we are producing in Aba, let's start exporting them. Do you understand? Even if it is Nigerians in diaspora that are buying them, let them buy them. Do you understand? So we need to look into exploitation, and that's what we talk about when we say production. When we start doing this, right, if we manage things well, if Tinubu can work with commercial industry, starting from March, things can improve. We can source dollar that we will have so much, especially with this airline, this airpiece going international to the UK. And airpiece doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. If he goes few months to London, the next thing he wants to start flying directly to New York. His planes have those ability. He buys brand new planes. Do you understand? Now, someone like Professor Batin Naji can start building these things for Enugu or another one in Anambra. I think I saw that they said that Anambra doesn't have the money to sort of finance, because this kind of what do you call it, investment, they are like, I think they said that Abia State Power Plant costs about $800 million. So you can, it's ridiculous amount. It takes a lot of banks to sort of fund that kind of investment over the years, and it's not something that can be built easily. But that's a gas power plant. We need a lot of hydros. We need, America will not allow us to have nuclear power plants at the minute, but at the end of the day, we can start somewhere, because we are building homes every time. And then people should also be encouraged to use solar. Solar is also one good thing we can use, especially in the north, where there's a lot of sunlight and sun rays. What we could do is have another big problem in Nigeria is theft. I was saying in one of the lives that in my village, 8 transformers, all the wires, all the high tension cables have been stolen from the beginning of the entrance of our village. All the transformers, all the cables, everything stolen. So theft, and it's not only in my village, it's also in so many places in Nigeria. So we need to find a way to, so if you say let's go and install solar panels, how sure are you that it will be protected, that people will not go and steal it? That's another problem. But these are federal infrastructures that, if we can protect Shell drilling our oil and protect some other agencies, what our police and Air Force and all these security agencies doing? Station them there instead of stationing them on the road to be collecting bribe. Let them do actual work. And then you can use things like CCTV. Look at Nnewi Metropolis now. In fact, sometimes I feel like Nigeria is dragging Biafrans back, or Igbos back. I feel like Igbos are progressive people, but because they are under the administration of Nigeria as a country, they are dragging Igbos back. Igbos want to move forward, but Nigeria is like a rope dragging them back. Because if you look at a place like Nnewi already use CCTV to monitor like Metropolis, not just somebody's house or somebody's street. If you come to Anambra, a big man, a rich man can just come and do the whole road without even asking government. Do you understand? And build the road to his house or the road in his village. So developments like this needs to come in numbers. And what we allow those developments to come is when governments allow individuals to do it. Not if somebody wants to come and build road, you say to the person, don't build the road. If you build the road, you give me commission. And some stupid people do this, whether you like it or not. P Square said that they've been told something similar when they wanted to do something, in their locality, because the person in charge want to collect the contract so he will get his own money. So he doesn't want you as an individual to do it, which you will not give him any share. So they will stop you. And this is what we see with all these federal and state contracts. And that's why there is so much unfinished projects in Nigeria. Right? So what governors are doing now is, like Governor Soludo have taken projects from people that he believes they are not delivering that project. We are seeing what Alex Oti is doing. Alex Oti is working with the best. I think RCC is being rated as one of the best in Nigeria when it comes to contractors. So these are things you need to do. Now, if Tinubu must get it right, Tinubu have to release Nnamdi Kanu so the situation will stop. Then he needs to work with Professor Batin Naji on how to sort of, because this is something he did years ago that might be newer and even easier way of delivering something similar. Do you understand? So how can we build what we just built in Abia State? How can we build it in Lagos? How can we build it in Enugu? How can we build it? So work with somebody like that, because Nigeria is a very massive, both geographically and in numbers. We have a lot of demand. right? Now, also, somebody like Alex Oyema, work with him on how to be getting forex, and work with him on how to help pay back all these debts that we are owing. And then the incentive, or what he will gain in exchange, is give him lower tax. Don't charge him 30 to 36%. The government needs to work. There is no government in the world, developed world, that does not work with private partnership. It's impossible. There must be public and private partnership with government. Like I was giving you an example the other day, yesterday or 2 days ago. Facebook work with US government. They work with AWS. These are individual private establishments. But you work with government. You attain a particular level in life, government have to work with you. Especially if you have the infrastructure, you have the ingenuity. Don't you see how Alex Otti is supporting Professor Pat Nnaji? And she will ask me a direct question. Does Abia State government, welcome uncle, does Abia State government have any percentage or any investment in this business? He said no. As far as he knows, it's not. But he is happy that he's going to benefit his people and also increase the revenue. Because when businesses are coming in, then they will pay tax. Do you understand? So we need to do these things for us to move forward. Like I keep saying, all these things are not rocket science. Look how long it took a project that has been done since 2014, 2024, 10 good years just to start supply of gas so the turbines will run. So we need to have multiplicity of those kind of gas power plants and also hydroelectricity as well. We need dams, and we have a lot of areas that we have the River Benue, we have the River Niger, we have the Conference, we have so many other rivers that any place you have a waterfall or any place that can carry a dam to produce electricity, we need to do it. And also use this in conjunction with these gas plants and also solar. And before you know it, once we fix this, I mean, there are countries like India that have 1 billion people. China that have 1 billion people. So there's no way Nigeria can say that they don't have the facility or our grid is always failing. It's because we are not building sources of electricity as we are building houses. Because those houses you are building are also taken from that same national grid, which you have not, well, they've actually put money in it. I think Obasanjo put money in increasing capacity. But what happens is that they will increase capacity of the generation, and then they will lose a lot of the power in transmission. Do you understand? Which I don't know how they do it. And at the end of the day, they are supplying power to other countries like Niger and what have you. So that said, I hope I've made my point. Any government that want to work have to work with private sector. You have to work with the elites. You have to work with businesses that are doing well. You have to talk to the likes of the Dangotes, the Otedolas. You have to talk to the likes of the Onyemas. You have to talk to the likes of the Nnajis and find a way to ease their pain and at the same time allow them to help your government. Do you understand? We have to allow these businesses. We need, see, government can give an incentive and say, youth, we've said we've been giving you 25,000 naira every month. In return, what we need is for you to source so item. Now, these youths can go into the villages, go into the communities and find these items and bring it to a hub. Say, for example, since we are still importing things like palm oil, tell youth, we are paying you 25,000 naira every month. We are going to be the massive employer of labor. If you bring one big head of palm kernel, if you can bring the big head of palm kernel, or if you can turn it to oil, we will buy it from you. Do you understand? People do it. You see, when the government in the UK wanted to stop things like recycling. I think this might be a recyclable this thing. When they started doing recycle, what they started doing is that they started encouraging people. If you bring a recyclable product, like if you put these things down and put it in separate bags, there will be an incentive if they can buy it back from you. And all. Before you know it, people that will do it willfully will do it willfully. People that will do it because of that incentive will do it because of that incentive. And that's how you work with the consciousness of the people. So if we say to people that our problem is food, Let us declare. I saw a communication from Labour Party House of Assembly members that they are willing, I think it's in Anambra State or something like that, that they are willing to give up their salaries for a few months for the government to use their salary to feed the people because of the hunger in the land. Do you understand? I've seen Obi Jackson in Okija, right, sharing bags of rice. You see, I've seen people like this guy, this young guy, what's his name again? God, why did I forget his name? B-Lord sharing all these things. So we need to encourage, when people are doing things in their capacity, what does it take away from government to appreciate these people? To say, just like Tinubu came and appreciated the Ministry of passport issuance, those that you know, when you need your Nigerian passport, right, those that issue the passport, that minister is trying. Do you understand? Although my wife's passport supposed to have been due since January 4th, but we've received it in February ending, but that's fine. But at least that man is working through the backlog. That ministry is, and that's one of the ministries that both Nigerians and diaspora, everybody need passports. So that ministry needs to work. So at least there's little progress in that aspect. And Tinubu gave the guy a recognition. So governors should recognize commissioners that are doing well, and those that are not doing well, name and shame them. Whether they are your family members or not, remove them. Because we need to work with our collective good. Listen, you cannot be superpower by choice or by mouth. It is by what you do. America is America today because they are helping their people. They want their people to be the best in the world. They want you to go anywhere you are going and identify as American with pride. For you to be British is how beneficial, how powerful, how, you know, they are trying to make your life better as a British citizen. So as Nigerians, Nigerian government should not work for their selfish interest, but how can you benefit the lives of Nigerians so that if they are even in a foreign land, they want to come back to Nigeria? That's what the Chinese did. Everybody wanted to go back to China. How many Russians do you see in diaspora? How many Germans do you see in diaspora? Because they know that anything they can get here, they can get it back home. So we need to work on these things. Government needs to help businesses. Now, overtaxing people, overtaxing business, right? You are generating revenue, which is the problem I have with IGR. People say IGR. You don't understand. What you are doing is you are giving too much burden to businesses. You're supposed to make it lighter for businesses, right? Don't kill people with taxes. Have a standard tax, not anything more than 15%. Otherwise, how much margin is he gonna, when he take out his cost, how much here, if you do your tax return, there is a kind of amount of expenses you put in. Government won't even charge you £1 in tax or £1 in tax. If your expenses is a particular level, you don't have to pay tax. Do you understand? So, but in Nigeria, nobody cares about your cost. All they care about is pay tax. So, Nigerian government need to understand that they need businesses. Without businesses, if somebody has not eaten, for when you first of all eating, that you have money to say, okay, let me go and have a gate man, or let me go and polish my shoe, or let me take my clothes to a laundry to clean. Otherwise, if you are still looking for money for food or feeding, you won't have that need. You say, I'll wash my clothes by myself. I will shine my shoe by myself. I will cut my nail by myself. So we need to understand that middle class are the people that sort of move the economy. And how can middle class move the economy? By supporting them. What we are doing now by welfare, sharing money, sharing food is good. But for long-term plan, how do we sustain? We need to get the youth involved in farming. We need to get the youth involved in agro-business. Even if they are lazy to farm, let people that want to go into businesses tell them, okay, there are different levels of farming. Those that are in the farming, those that take those produce from the villages to a hub, and those that, of course, from those hubs, now talk about transportation. Do you understand? Let the people that are rich, right, those who are already importers, it's easy for importers to export. I was watching one Rufai's live where he did with one of the guys that are teaching people how to export, right? It's easier for somebody who is already an importer to be an exporter. I remember growing up, they used to, when they want to praise people, they will call them importer, exporter. These days, what people have is only importer because there's nothing to export. But normally, in the day, it used to be importer, exporter. Do you understand? So we need to go back to that importer-exporter. Once you're an importer, what are you exporting? Do you understand? As your container is coming back, Nigerian government should be filling it with stuff so it will go back to the country with something. There are demands all over. There are business agreements that we've signed with China, we've signed with all these places. We need to bring all those things back to the front burner, and then work with these companies, find a way to make things easy. You can't be a government and want to be taking in revenue. Once you start overbearing all these businesses, they will become tired of running them. Do you understand? They become tired of running them. So work with them. Let the high class or the high class, let them do the exporting bit. Let the middle class do the agro business of bringing finished products to a hub. Let government buy these things from people or find a way of doing it in such a way that people can understand that, yes, if you bring this item, we'll pay you this money, and then work with exporting companies or businesses to export them, right? And at the end of the day, everybody is busy. We need to utilize the services of our youth, so everybody will not have to just rely on Yahoo or stealing or prostitution. Let's use this youth. For somebody who is sensible, the kind of population that Nigeria has is money. Indians, right, are in India working for the UK, working for America, because they have the numbers. That's what we need to do. Nigerians also are beginning to work remotely for, especially in the IT field. Yes, we have Nigerians doing that. But then you have very expensive data to buy, expensive fuel to sort of keep you afloat in running your, empowering your house and your laptop, and on every other issues we have. So we need to find a way and then encourage all these businesses to also be paying tax in one way or the other. So I hope I've made my point. I don't want to stay too long. We all are praying for a better country, right? So I believe from March, all things being equal, things supposed to start changing for the good. Because once people start flying into the country with airpiece, it's going to cut. And Nigerians fly. We are many. People have been using Ethiopia. Personally, I've used Ethiopia. I've used Royal Air Maroc, which is Morocco. I've also used Turkish. I've used Emirates, which is UAE. All this money will now come into airpiece, right? Once you come into airpiece, of course, airpiece has to pay for his planes, pay for taxis, pay staff and all of that. But the volume, the sheer volume, right? You might even notice that maybe airpiece are not making money, but the sheer volume of people that will start coming in on this London, the man might be suffering all this while just to get this London route. And this London route that he just got might just be his breakthrough. But government need to take it, tapping into it. Reduce the tax for him, work with him, get forex from that, let Aba keep blowing up, and don't give up, because what will happen is that the capacity that they envisaged, what will happen is that a lot of people is going to influx into Aba because they want to have steady power, and then what will happen is that demand might sort of bring it down. It might last, but it might not last too long. So what they need to do is to go to other places to replicate those kind of power plants, or even employ things like hydro energy, now that states are allowed to generate. But how do we make sure that people can do this business? Also tell CBN rate is too high. Increasing it to 22% is a lot. We need to bring all these things down so that businesses can strive. Without business, and listen, when we talk about business, we don't need white people to come and develop Nigeria. We have successful diasporans. We have Nigerians who are making bunker monies, six-figure monies abroad, who really want to come back home. But because of single factor of power, what businesses want to run without power? So this is why I'm saying that even before the end of the year, Aba is going, and if you listen to Alex Otti, he said he doesn't want to make Aba to look like Lagos. He wants to make Aba to look like Dubai. And the guy has a sense, because all you need to do is give people power. Then you will see the ingenuity of Nigerians. Nigerians are so smart. I've seen Nigeria build generator from water, build what do you call it, G-Wagon, what do you call it again? Prototype G-Wagon, build so many things. I've seen people from Abia State there, power, build some kind of, there's so much going on, our ingenuity is, our intelligence is rated one of the highest, even countries. That's why even Germany is saying Nigerians are welcome to come. Canada is saying they are opening their doors. All these countries know that we are smart people, we are intelligent people. So let government key into all these things, right? And then I'm thinking that this naira will keep dropping. But to make it drop lower than what APC makes it in with Goodluck in PDP, they need to allow the sit-at-home to stop. Once you stop the sit-at-home, everybody's going to see the government is working. Once this money starts coming in, before you know it, Nigerians will start having a better, and that's if this merger continues. They have to merge all these ministries, because I don't understand what all of them are doing. We can't have all these ministries and things are the way they are. So we have to merge these ministries. We have to follow on that Orosanye report. If you think it's updated like Femi Falana is saying, then bring the man, let him and team update it. But first of all, we are very backward in Nigeria. We are not in 2024. We are third world country. We are still in 2000, if not even further. So we need to even implement that Orosanya report and then develop from there. And if we need to do the constitution again, let's do it. All this, see, to progress a country is not a small thing. It's not like turning a ship. No, it's a lot. A lot have been endemic. You know, Tinubu said they are going to fight corruption. They are going to continue fighting. So we want to see him match these words with action, right? Because when you look at him, he's a feeble old man. We want to see how much he can do, you know. So I believe with the likes of Alain Onyema, Bat Nnaji, if Nnamdi Kanu is released, I believe things can start turning. And before you know it, the diasporans will come in, the remittances will come in, the businesses will come in. Before you know it, boom, the workforce in Nigeria will kick in. Everybody, do you know, now people are stopping their projects in Nigeria. Nobody's building house or anything again, because it's crazy the amount of money you have to spend to just get one block or get one cement. So when things start moving and naira start dropping, investments will come in, and before you know it, everybody's busy again. There will be a lot of money and Nigeria will back to boom. I hope, please share this video to people in power, share this video to people in politics, send it to, share my video, follow me on YouTube, Best Practice Today, Facebook, Best Practice Today, Instagram, Best Practice Today. Let's get Nigeria working. And I think we're making giant strides, and we need to commend all these people, because these are individuals who did not want to give up on their country. So we need to appreciate them, and we need to embrace the Igbos. Igbos, I've said it many times, last, na Igbo man will fix Nigeria. Last, it's an Igbo man will fix this country. So we need to embrace the Igbos, and hopefully, we'll get there. Thank you, God bless. My name remains Promise Odera Ono.